Today on Van Helsing, have no fear, Kelly Overton is here.
What?
We're talking all about the episode Fear Her. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV. We are here doing the Van Helsing After Show, episode Fear Her, Season 1, Episode 5. I like this song. It's catchy.
Right?
Yeah. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SeraphiniTV. And if you can tell, if you're watching us, we have special guest Kelly Overton in studio.
Excitement!
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
Vanessa
Yay, super exciting.
herself. Where can everyone follow you on social media?
Yes, my Twitter handle is I am Kelly Overton. My Instagram is Kelly A. Overton. And you can occasionally check me on Snapchat at KO Kelly Overton.
Cool. Awesome. And then, of course, on the left side.
Hey guys, it's us, the Peanut Gallery. I'm Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena and Instagram at the Andrew Mena. Someone beat me to the first one.
Bummer. I know it's
Someone took my name too, so I had to include my middle initial.
You
So
just say I am.
there you go.
And
Even better.
it's true though because you are
That's right.
Or you could do the real.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Of course.
official.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You guys can find me online at Kari Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
cool. All right. Fear Her, this episode. Real quick thoughts.
man.
Carrie, let's start with you.
Another one of those. I'm like, you're on the edge of your seat a whole bunch of times, but I do want things to move. I want more. The tunnel part. I'm like, can we find out in this episode what it is?
I
No, we're
wanna
not.
know
I feel your
the
pain.
creature,
No, we're not.
the
Your
thing in the mist. Oh,
know.
I
But
want it
it's-
so bad.
It's good though because I'm interested enough that I want to know.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not one of those where I'm like, okay, never mind, I don't care anymore. It's
Yeah, no,
just
no, no.
like,
Well,
we
that's-
need the closure.
Yes.
We gotta know what that creature is.
Yes.
In the mist. Is it a werewolf? Do we get werewolves? Maybe. Probably not.
yes.
But maybe.
maybe.
Andrew,
Probably
what
not.
are your thoughts?
Oh man. So we obviously have like the couple level. We've talked about the hierarchy as we understand it of vampires
Yes.
as being ancients and then feeders and then ferals. So do we have something below ferals, like a sub-feral, something that they can't even control it, like it doesn't understand or listen to anyone. It's just basically a monster as we would understand a monster. So I don't know, man. Like this could be a number of things, and I'm wondering, if this is a world of vampires, what other kind of myth and magic and lore and fantastic creatures might be happening
lurking below.
It's
in
so-
the mist.
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
But I don't want to distract too much from vampires. So for now, I'm saying some sort of sub-viral, ghoulish. Viral, yeah.
I'm trying to think
Feral.
if there's
I like
anything
it.
in the world, in the animal kingdom, that could be sub-feral.
I mean, something with rabies?
well,
Maybe?
yeah,
rabid?
there you go.
A rabid vampire, you guys.
But aren't they all rabid?
Well,
In a
it's
way.
Great question.
foaming
I
at
don't
the
think being
mouth.
feral.
Yeah.
I don't think being feral, like in and of itself, makes you rabid. I think rabidity is its own thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Well, because then I felt this episode had paired. It was kind of more of a mirror of how they are in the animal kingdom, because like getting close to the neck, kind of a dominance thing, was very much like a dog. Hierarchy of like I'm in charge and like you need to respect me.
true.
But then it went all the way down to like literally the dog chasing after them.
I love
And
that dog.
then the feral.
He's so committed. He's so committed.
Oh,
You
yes.
guys, he brought it every take.
I can tell.
I mean,
There's a moment. Yeah.
And that was not
Yes.
easy to do.
I can-
Like, he was not comfortable.
It's like crawling.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about that. We're like commitment of the vampires on
Yes.
the show is
Right.
like
Overall
110%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say 150.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh
man.
yeah.
There was a moment where he kicks the dog and the dog
Yeah.
makes a dog sound, and I was like, did he make that? He is so committed. I believe it. I would believe it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I like this episode because it was a nice balance of away from the hospital and in the tunnel. I mean, we got your character Vanessa, and then we got the people at base camp hospital.
Just messing
It's a nice
everything up.
split.
Yeah.
And I mean, we kind of knew that the new guys that came into the hospital last episode were
gonna
going
be
to
the
cause
worst.
problems.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they did. But let's talk about Vanessa
Terry.
first.
Yes. The important
Because
character.
the
Yeah.
important ones, and also Kelly's here in the studio. But at the end of last episode,
We want to do that anyway.
you get
What that doesn't mean
yeah, but you get captured. And
Yeah.
you're taken to actual Julius. But I mean, so what was it like filming that particular scene? Everyone's like surrounding you, and then you have this awesome fight with Susan.
Yeah. Yeah, the fights, that was like one of the bigger fights kind of that she had done, that we had filmed up to that point. So preparing for that was awesome, and we were always, so stoked to do that. And Hilary Jardine, who plays Susan, was wonderful, and such a lovely person too. The whole cast is great. Just as people, as actors, obviously, and then as people, we really lucked out with the cast. But that fight scene was awesome. I mean, it was when Vanessa starts to really step into her power. So it was really exciting for me to go to kind of start leaving the kind of shocked, more kind of scared, not scared, but just doubtful, apprehensive, collecting information, to go from that place and then to kind of take the next step where she's like,
role.
That felt awesome.
I was gonna say, there's this element in this scene of you not being afraid at all of Julius, which is like, especially as like just the way the scene is lit. It's very ominous. It's very brooding, and it's very like, oh no, you don't want to be there.
She's like, no, really, take a bite. Go.
Exactly. Yeah. She said that. I was gonna say that line is so like, it's so daring and like sexualish, and you're just like, yeah, try it. Like, I'm gonna.
You want it.
Was that
Exactly.
ADR, or did you say that through
We said it through
Oh, cool.
there,
Because I was like, I wondered how well you could hear through that. And then,
it was so fun.
how much
That's
of
rad.
you, how much did you get to do in the fight scene, or how much was stunt doubles?
Oh, it's so great. I mean, my stunt double, Holly Rodzinski, is amazing, and the stunt coordinator, Kamani Ray Smith, is amazing. So the whole stunt team was great.
Shout out to the team.
But I come from a really athletic background, so
We can tell.
this is thank you. But it's what I love to do. So this is partly why I wanted the job. So I do as much as I can safely.
Sure.
I don't
as
need
much
to.
butt as you're allowed to get.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't need to be the one that like hits the car and breaks the glass.
Right. Okay.
We gotta.
fair.
I got a season to shoot here.
Right.
Yeah. Or the head smashed into the
Yeah.
concrete.
Yeah, but that
your
being said,
limitations.
yeah, and that being said, I'll do as much as I can. Like the
Yeah.
combinations are, I love it. I love that stuff.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's so much fun.
I love how your character is kind of coming into her own, because the earlier episodes, it seems like you were kind of wary about, should I take on this vampire, should I not?
Yeah.
Because I know that they're powerful, but your character is also very powerful. But now it's just like, bring it on.
Yeah.
I can take all of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's really protective over those she loves, and seeing Susan, I think, and also Susan was
Saying what she said.
and hopefully has that information to let me know. I mean,
Right.
so there's so much going on all the time
many
within the show,
layers,
which is
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, no, it was wonderful to kind of take that turn and just, like you said, be a little less fearless and just ready to accept the challenge. And she knows that she can turn people now. It's not a shock. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I have this power. She's trusting it a little more.
It's a little bit of a
Yeah.
coat of armor almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now you know it works, because
Right.
it's one of those, maybe before she has kind of reason to be tentative about anything, because it's like, well, I don't know 100%, but now
Right.
it's like, oh, screw it, I'm good, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how she turned Susan. It's like, oh, this is my friend. We were best friends.
she's like,
and
Yeah.
it's
It's like, be
oh,
ready
great.
to run.
Yeah, be ready to run.
There's another person I could change. But during that fight, she went like mama bear on her.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to my daughter Dylan?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, it's
There
like,
was
I
even-
trusted you.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you guys need to have that chat when you're in a safe space, not running in the hallways. I'm
I
like,
agree.
oh,
I agree.
can they wait? Just
Yes.
get to the next spot.
One of my favorite things
tried.
about that fight,
Right?
though, that fight was so fun because it was like very sporting. Like at one point, Susan like picked you up, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, you could just keep going, but yeah, pick her up. That's cool. Brush her off a little. Just like, are you good? You need some water?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it was really, it was like a really fun little like moment. Oh, they were friends before this. This was great. I like this. Okay. Show me more.
good.
Yeah, it was really cool. Anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Julius, I loved how Julius was like pretty much the hype man in a very twisted way.
Right?
Towards the vampires, like, go get her, and I'll feed you some fresh flesh.
Just
Yeah, but he doesn't
Slapping his
even want to
hands.
go down there.
Right.
Like, no, no, you go.
not getting his hands dirty if he doesn't have to, I guess.
But he was so cool. He's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, like,
I wrote that down. A test. So good. See, it can't be done seriously when not done by him.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, only he can do it for
that's
real.
why we're not Julius.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We all went to that casting call, and none of us got a call back for good reason.
Yeah.
They found it. A great
But
one.
I mean, it is still kind of scary seeing Vanessa and Susan getting chased by these feeders,
Yeah.
like slash ferals. Like,
Yeah.
are they actually
There's
going to
only
catch
two
her?
though.
There are two, but one
Well,
disappeared.
one now.
Yeah, one got
What
got.
happened?
She could take
He's
him down.
Cool. He's cool.
Yeah, but like, what
That
happened to
vampire's
the one
cool.
Yeah.
vampire that just literally went whoosh?
Yeah, he just got
Yeah.
got.
Something got him.
He been got.
He been
They
got.
got- Who do you think? Who or what do you think it was?
I think it's some kind of critter down there.
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you
know
think
what
it's
it is.
Dimitri got him?
No.
Is Dimitri in the vicinity?
I don't think
know.
Dimitri. I
No,
don't think that's
I-
how Dimitri.
well,
Dimitri has
there-
too much
I'm throwing
flair
things out.
and
I love it.
style.
This is great.
No, it
Yeah.
has to be something that they fear. So it's something
Yeah.
even worse than they are.
Right.
No, you can't
Something
even
that
talk
they don't
to
understand.
it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's necessarily
Can't be
vampire
reasoned with.
connected, but
Vampire adjacent.
yeah, maybe it's like they understand it enough to fear it.
Right.
Because otherwise they'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem, we'll go down there. But the two, he's like, you'd rather die than go down there? And he's like, yes. All right, fine, I'll offer you free food. All right, cool, I'm down. Free food wins.
I'll do it. Yeah.
But it grabbed the guys, or the vampire, the thing, so fast. It has
it
to be
like
bigger or stronger, too.
or faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, hey, I grabbed you and I pulled you in a room.
Right.
It's like, snatched.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I mean,
I think you're loving these theories.
She
knows.
She's like, oh my goodness.
this is exactly what Alex did when
Alex
he just
was doing
sat there
this.
giggling and going, "This is so fun." This is legitimately, I think, the same phrasing. Even.
Have you had to hold back with any of your friends and family? Are they ever like, hey, tell me stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Twist the arm.
Oh yeah, and even in certain interviews too. Like I get so tempted, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, no, did I wait? Okay, no.
There's so many
good.
questions.
Yeah.
We have so many questions.
But it's so tempting, right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
But this is the reason why we have these conversations, so we
Yeah.
can work it out.
So
Love it.
I wanted to say, so we're talking about what the creature is, and I don't think
Yes.
it's Dimitri. I don't think it's Dimitri because
No.
in this episode we find out he is around 300 years old. He says he's 300 years old.
Yes.
He's been doing things for 300 years. So he's at 300. He's 320, 330, however
Yeah.
how old he is.
However
Yeah, when he got
old he was
vampires,
when he
right?
turned.
Exactly. So he's 300. He's just just north of 300, but that doesn't make him ancient. I don't think 300 is ancient, and I think we must have
Definitely
vampires.
antique.
Yeah, it's like
I'd
old.
say
It's not
1,000 would
ancient.
be an ancient
Right.
one.
I'm waiting for the Egyptian vampires. We got Romanian vampires. I'm waiting for
Yeah.
vampires that are
Sure.
Yes.
old as time. The caveman vampires.
Yes.
It's just these are.
I'm in raw, man.
So maybe at a certain point there are vampires that are so old that they don't. There's no language for them. There's no. You know what I mean? So
Ooh,
maybe
those
these
could
ancient
be the
ones.
things down below.
Maybe. There's like a hive of them
Well,
under where
it's like-
Julius lives or something. I don't know if
Yeah.
they have hives. Don't look at me like you know that they don't have hives.
I'm
It
gaggle.
could be like dinosaurs,
trying to follow your
crocodile
pattern.
idea. Like
Yeah.
they survived because it's like this base creature that's can live. Cockroaches, come on, they survive everything.
Right.
So it could be an older vampire that's just that simplistic that it
Nosferatu
can live.
sort
Yes.
of vampire that we kind of some of them are, but like you can see that it's clearly like something more menacing in there,
Yes.
hiding below the surface.
Okay, so eventually we'll see this non-corporeal being
Yes.
in future episodes. I hope.
I hope so too.
I hope so. I just hope.
I would. Love
I don't want
some
this show to string us along
non-corporeal
too much.
vampires. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel so far it's been like you get something
She
on one
loves it.
episode.
She's relevant.
And you get the answer by
That's
the
great.
next. Because remember the pilot, we were all like, WTF's going on. And then episode 2, it was like, hey, here's the backstory. Here's everything set up. So we go, oh, okay.
more
So now
episode.
it's kind of like, here's this thing. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll find out in the next couple episodes.
This whole show is like being given a really, really close-up picture of an object, and you're like, "What the hell is
Yes.
that?" And then as you get further away, you're like,
A microscopic.
"Oh, okay, that's what it is."
Yes.
And you go, "Oh, that's the bigger
Yeah.
picture. Oh, there it is. It's a dog. Oh, it's a dog in a park. Oh, it's a dog in a park, but the park is levitating." Or,
Yeah.
It's just there's so many new and fascinating things about this world. We learn every episode, like the 300 years thing. There's a couple things
Yeah.
like we learned about the resistance this episode.
Yeah,
There is a
there's a
resistance.
resistance. There always has to
that
be. Come
Axel
on.
scoffs at.
Go for
He's
the
like,
resistance.
He's like,
resistance.
yeah, right.
Fuck that. Like, whatever. They would have totally contacted me because I'm cool. Like,
That's why he doesn't like it. He's kind of upset. He's like, they didn't call me.
Yeah,
he's
he's
totally
jealous.
jealous. He wanted to be part of
Or
the club.
he wasn't the one who started the
Yeah,
resistance.
that's why he's mad.
like, I didn't start it. We do have one question from the room. Someone wants to
for it.
know, when will Vanessa know what she is exactly and what's going on with her blood?
Ooh, was it
Yes.
will I or when will I?
It doesn't say when, just
Okay.
a will.
Will she? That is a big affirmative. Yes.
Okay, good.
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 Yes.
when is
So
the
without
question.
Yeah.
Within this season.
When?
Within this season?
Without spoilers or being too
Yeah.
specific, do you think that what she is can be summated in stuff we know, or is it solely uniquely this show?
Ah, yes, that's a good question.
Is it stuff that we can like totally actualize because of things we've also read, other source materials of vampires and warlocks and werewolves and things, or is this like no?
Within-
You gotta watch Vanessa Van Helsing's show to
Yeah.
understand what she is.
Ooh,
I'm
she's
afraid it's that.
Okay. Good. You gotta be in for the long haul, you guys.
Yep.
Well, no, it's we've talked
It's
about
originality.
that.
Because
Yeah.
no other show has done that.
Or
That's
we've
true.
talked
No.
about it like, it's as long as you make the rules within your world that you've made.
Yes.
You can make any rules you want.
That's
as long
right.
as you say what they are.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was kind of hoping that they weaponize her blood.
Yeah,
And
that's one of the things I'm
yes.
thinking of too.
I mean,
'Cause
because blood reproduces
It does.
slowly on its own.
Yes.
So, like, you can, I mean,
farm
and
it from her.
we
kind
saw
of.
the episode earlier in the season that she was donating blood for,
Yeah.
blood
So
bank.
it's out
Her
there.
blood is out
Yes.
there in the world.
Yeah. And also, we have this idea that maybe ancient or old vampires will turn to dust and immediately die as soon as they are rehumanized. Because what does a 300-year-old human look like? A pile of dust. So,
That is something they've introduced on this show, but they haven't really gotten into, and I don't think they will. But I was wondering that. I'm like, so when you go from human to vampire, your body changes. But then when you go back, you change again. But do you go back to the state you were right before you went into a vampire?
Great question.
Because if you've been a vampire for like, let's say a few months, your body hasn't had normal food in 3 months, or does it negate that because it was in like a hypersleep essentially?
Flesh-
Right, and how much of Vanessa's bite, like what aspect of that, what properties are going on
Yeah.
there, like, I think that also has to do with what happens.
Does
when
that
they
get
change.
explained?
we
ever?
definitely have we definitely have that flesh.
She just smiles. Damn, nabbit.
Like Flesh was a vampire for like 3 years, and he definitely didn't have normal food in that time. He killed a lot of people.
And he ate
their
normally
entrails.
afterwards.
Yeah, and he normally afterwards.
He just
and
has
he also
mental
mentioned
issues
having,
at this point.
Right, he has
can't
PTSD, hard PTSD, absolutely.
Yeah.
He also mentioned in a scene, he
his
mentioned
shoulder
having a
pain coming
shoulder
back.
thing, and he's like, because in that scene he's talking to Sam, who is basically like, would I get my sense of hearing back? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, you would, but it would be horrible, so don't do it still.
Yes. I have a quick.
Don't listen, Sam. Don't become a vampire. Just
couldn't look
throwing
at-
it out
I
there.
hope not.
I didn't look it up, but is that guy actually deaf?
No.
No.
He does a great job.
He's amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Big props to Chris Heyerdahl. He's just I've been a fan. I'm a fan. We were on True Blood together. We didn't
Nice.
have any scenes together,
okay.
but we were in the same seasons.
that's so fun.
And I just think he's just phenomenal.
He's a rad dude.
And I would like come on set and I'd pass, the little green room, and there
Yeah.
he was, always just researching, just going through the hand motions, practicing. I mean,
so
he was
cool.
so devoted to doing that part justice.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Because this episode we finally get to hear him like speak, and it sounds
Yeah.
great. That I'm like, nice, because it's one of those I didn't have a chance to look it up because
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it much before. Now I was like, oh, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, this was the most
so good.
vocalization
Even
we
at
got
the,
from him.
and even at the end of the episode when, we'll get there,
when he
but
yells.
when Muhammad leaves
broken-
and he's just like
broken heart.
crying out pain.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
But no, he's a great actor. Like
Yeah.
he completely
And their
like
relationship,
the physical,
Yeah.
the physical
His
body
face.
language, his,
Yes.
his facial expressions. It breaks your heart just watching.
Does he
it.
talk during
So
lunch
good.
breaks?
Yeah, I was gonna say he does get out of character, right? Cool. Good.
Do the vampires and the humans sit together during lunch, or you guys stay separate?
Are there clicks?
I stay very far away from everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well, it is what
I could have went that way, but no.
How long do they make you
I like
keep
people.
your blood?
My
your
goatee, my blood
drips?
goatee.
Yeah,
All
your
the
blood
time.
tea. Yeah.
Never.
We're like just
I know.
wipe
It's like just a little, just wipe it.
Like,
That's
do you
all you
feel
gotta
it?
do.
Do you feel that?
just a sleeve.
I think it'd be itchy and sticky.
We
or
all, I think, well, and it's not so much that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just kind of, you're stuck with that look.
Right.
And it can get a little,
Tiring.
tiring or comical after a
Yes.
while. So we all kind of learn this lesson that's like, wipe your mouth. Just wipe your
Just
mouth.
wipe it. Yeah.
like when you're eating
Unless,
a sandwich.
but you also want to be true to the scene. So
Yeah.
if you're like, I don't give a fuck about, ooh,
No, go
so
on.
sorry.
I'll get here.
You heard it here, audience.
Oh, no.
Kelly Overton dropped an F-bomb. AfterBuzz TV
so
exclusive. Oh, only on AfterBuzz TV.
No,
Embarrassed.
it's all good.
It's okay.
It's okay. We made a whole thing out of it,
Fuck
so
it,
it's much
whatever.
funnier now.
Okay. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. That you stay true, and so you're not worried about what you look like.
But also, you got to remember, they're running.
Living in the moment.
They're running for their lives. They're just like, I'm going to take 2 seconds to wipe this, you know?
Yeah.
You don't think about that.
No.
But it's
You're
just
trying not
cute
to
when
think
you're
about-
watching the scenes, the like really intense, like a moment between you and Susan in the tunnel, and we're like, yeah, totally. Could you also just grab that? Really quick? Like,
Oh, for
honey,
sure.
like we
guys-
both,
let me
have
give me a
it.
little-
let me
Like,
get
you're
that.
looking at each other, just
Yeah.
babe, I'm just maybe for next season, just a little and then
Totally,
this. Got it.
totally.
Thrown
We're
it
trying
in
to.
there.
We were
We're working
working
up
out
to it.
all those things, you know.
Great.
Next season.
Awesome. So ready.
Yes.
Emotionally.
Okay, so they're still
Well,
running.
you got a long way to
Yeah.
go.
They're not caught yet, but they're still running.
Patient.
I hope she gets back to the hospital base camp.
Oh, she's
Yes.
going to, of course.
So, I mean,
It's just a matter of time.
you're the main
It's just
character.
gonna happen,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
you have to.
She's got to fight this werewolf first.
And we can't leave the other
think it's a
characters
werewolf?
hanging.
I don't think it's a werewolf, but I
No.
want it to be a werewolf.
Okay.
And then I want her to be its friend.
Like
He's just an understood pup.
Yeah,
Good
maybe,
ally.
maybe we
Pupperoo.
become allies.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good ally.
He's got a real cute name.
Yeah.
Got another
Fluffers.
blood question.
Go for it.
So the blood isn't normal, but is there any sort of time limit on it? Because, like, you know,
Can your blood
is
go
it
bad?
active from the beginning when she donated it? You know, the 3 years prior. Is whatever in it still an active agent or whatever now?
antigen?
Thank you.
I'm gonna say yes.
No expiration date on your blood.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
No.
Yeah, because it's not like she's like an X-Man character who was made like, or I guess that's a bad example because a lot of them are mutants. But it's not like she's a Marvel character who was created through science, who she has a thing in her blood. Unless she is. Wait, we don't know that. We have no idea.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
We have no idea.
Or
feel like
did the
it-
blood coagulate?
I feel
over
like
Yeah,
the
that's what I
3
mean. Like,
years?
is there
Right.
something
that keeps it
you
in
know,
liquid
yeah.
form. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like
Remember when Doc
it's
looked
from
in that
her.
little-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing moving in there?
See,
There's
I
something
talked
happening.
about that, and they were like, they didn't see it. I was like, no, there's a thing moving in there. It's alive.
Yeah, I think we said it was like a tapeworm or something.
Yeah, it looked like something. I was like, did
Because
you
that's
guys
all we
see
know
it?
to identify with.
That's the
Yeah, I'm
only
like,
thing
I don't
so-
know.
It's a
I don't look at
tapeworm.
blood much.
Some kind of
We're
parasite.
Yes.
totally scientists here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I brought some slides actually.
Yeah.
Yes, but moving on to the base camp hospital. I like
Yes.
to call it base camp.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Base camp.
moving on to everybody at the hospital, these 2 different groups now. We have the newbies and then
I was gonna
our
call them the
regular
newbies. That's
yeah, 'cause they are newbies.
Yeah.
But they're causing trouble,
Cousin.
Yes.
caging Axel and all the guys.
There was a little girl that ran in that very first scene where we're back at base camp in the beginning, and I thought she was Beanie, and I was like, oh, Beanie's alive? Oh, Beanie, no, Beanie's still dead. Cynthia, I'm calling Beanie
my
because she wore that beanie.
We were talking about that.
Still,
earlier.
we're still
love-
mad about that
mad
because
love
it's
for
because we've
Cynthia.
Yeah.
gone 2 episodes now without finding out her killer, and that is too long. We need justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I think it could be someone who's not even in the group. I had that thought. Could someone be at the hospital and we don't even know?
Right? Someone who's
It's
hiding.
a big space.
It's totally possible.
is.
And we
But
have
for
that.
like 3 years, you think
No,
Axel would
Someone got in some other way.
I mean,
Okay.
but maybe.
You know.
I mean, they have opened the doors a couple times.
Exactly. And
We
do
don't know who has
Yeah.
slipped in between. those
Exactly.
times.
And we have that moment with Rebecca the vampire who was having sex in the last episode. That's how I remember her. And she says to the girl, like, I smelled you in my walls. I just allowed this to happen. So, like, if it were a vampire, like, they probably know the layout of lands a lot easier.
How'd they get past the UV lights?
That's a great question.
I don't think it's vampire. I just had
not.
the moment where they're all like, well, it's someone in this room. And I was like, well, wait, what if there's somebody else? Because,
Yeah.
and if it is someone in that room, I'm going to go with, I feel bad that some of their
Blonde
name. Yep.
I was gonna say
saw
the
it's the
blonde
girl.
lady.
Blonde lady?
I was gonna
Christian
say
lady?
the blonde lady.
It's the
She
only
throws out
one.
Christian words a
Because
lot.
she wasn't there
She
when they
says
found
Jesus, I don't know if that
Roger's
counts.
body all sliced up and his finger gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, double checking. Everyone's there except for the blonde lady.
And she's also.
And then she's like the first person in the cage to accuse. Like,
Yes.
hey,
She's very
always
readily.
accusing everyone
she's
else.
always accusing.
She's got a
or
finger
she
ready,
doesn't say
yes.
anything.
True.
She's not defending herself, and no one in their group goes,
What about
think
you?
you did it.
Where
Yeah.
were you?
Nobody.
Yeah.
No one yet.
And did you notice she was standing there with her arms crossed, like she's trying to protect herself? She's holding something in. I think
Yeah.
it's the blonde lady. I
think
don't
it's
even
her.
know her name.
By
Because
her
if
body
it's-
language, I think you're right.
if it's John, it's too obvious.
It's too obvious to be.
and
Yeah.
that'd be boring.
He's
You're
a
like,
red herring.
well, it's him.
No,
Yeah.
I would kind of like it to be John
we want
as
it to
well.
be John
Yes,
because we want John
him
to be
to
punished.
die.
Because he's such an
Yeah.
a-hole.
Well, I won't say I want him to die.
Okay,
he definitely
fine.
needs punishment, though.
Yes.
He's done a lot of stupid
No,
things.
he's
he needs
such
to
an
know
a-hole.
that he's
Yeah.
done
No,
stupid
he's
things.
such an a-hole. It
Yes.
gives us a valid reason for us to hate him.
Yes.
Right.
If he's
No,
the
he's
one who
already
killed
given
him.
enough valid reasons where we're just like,
That's true.
he might be a
He's
lovely
so
man
good.
in person,
I know.
but
He's so good.
in the
playing-
show, you're
Yeah,
just like,
he
hateful
plays
guy.
a very convincing butt. Like
Yes.
we're just like, yeah, I get it, you suck. Like,
Yeah.
and he just does a good
He has
job.
like no redeeming qualities at this point. Like
No, he doesn't.
He's just a problem, and you're like,
I like how they, they were going to trust him. We're like, no, we're going to put you in the cage too.
Yeah.
I am so
I
happy.
immediately
I know.
wrote down.
I was,
"Why
like,
is he
cheering.
It
outside?"
didn't take him very long to turn
No.
on everybody else. I mean,
Right.
well, he
yeah,
has that
you
moment.
put that guy in the cage.
Yeah.
You definitely keep that guy in the cage.
Oh, you're not trustworthy.
Yes.
Oh, that's cute. You thought you were
Yeah,
gonna stay
I was
out
putting
here,
him right-
get in the
yeah.
cage.
Yeah.
Get in
It's
the
like,
cage.
Exactly.
you're not omitted from this.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
you
not
think we're gonna be
exempt.
friends? No.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
He should have kept his mouth shut, and they might not have been put in the
Exactly.
cage.
And then no
Exactly.
cage.
But what do you think
Good job, John.
the newbie team is going to do?
Well,
Because now that they have
So to
Axel's
fa-
gear,
to fast forward to the end, I mean, he says that they're gonna thin out the herd, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna if he has to, and he has to is basically what he's saying.
He
by
wants
doing
tomato
it.
soup.
He wants He wants all the tomato soup. You saw the way he looked at that first
Yep.
can. He's like, I've had a taste.
Yep.
No
rationing.
one need the rest. So he's gonna take over tomato soup headquarters, and yeah, I mean, they're
it's
gonna have
kind
to
of like-
relocate, which is good in a way because there's nothing tying them here anymore. Like,
but they
it's
have a
just
safe
memories.
space.
It
That's the thing.
provides no drama to have a happy relationship, but I'm like, can we have a group that's not like, I need to take over and take all your stuff and kill you all? It's like, could it really just be like all right, we're just doing this thing, and then cool, let's work together because we'll be better if we have more people.
That's true, but like
But that's not gonna happen.
He did just walk in on a situation where one person is a murderer, and they're like, and you guys can't share that with us. We just got here, and you also are kind of mean. This
Thank
this
you
one
for the
military
safety,
guy.
though, and you're in you guys. Why did
G.I.
you?
Joe is being very rude to everyone.
Yes. And so
Just
many
throwing that out
characters.
there.
All the characters are just
You're
mad
loving
about the
this. This is
situation. Why doesn't anybody just leave? They're all, totally
Yeah.
bitching about like this place sucks and there's all this stuff happening. No. Well, you can leave.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Right.
telling you
And
to
everyone
stay.
says that.
Right.
Axel says that
welcome
every
to
other
leave.
sentence. He's like, you guys can leave. You guys can
Yes.
leave my
You
house
can
that
leave.
I've been
You
in
can
for
leave.
40 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my dead lady and my vampire lady. I've been very happy. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys are ruining this for me.
Yeah.
Already eating our food, taking out the water because
Yes.
the water reservoir is not
This
Yeah.
off.
it's an allegory for a roommate situation, and we get it. We totally get it.
I know. I live in a house with 8 people.
Ugh.
I know.
Woof.
Do you really?
Terrible.
I do.
Oh wow.
It's LA.
I mean, they turned off the
Yeah.
water in this
Yeah.
episode. Like, that's, yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Feeling
Roommates
it.
can suck.
Yeah.
It's going to get ripe.
But you know what?
Mohammed
When
is
people
right.
are unhappy
Yes, he was
with
right.
roommate situation, they leave.
They leave.
That's true. So,
Or they make someone else leave.
Yeah.
True.
that's true.
Kelly, while watching this, who do you think it would be? I mean, you,
As
you
an
kinda
audience
know,
member, if you can
right?
take a step
No,
outside of
yeah.
yourself.
This might be difficult.
Yeah.
She's like,
I don't know. I mean, I could just raise some questions, but
Totes.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It could be anybody. It could be anybody.
It could
You can-
literally be anybody.
It could be anybody.
I feel like we're starting to get a really solid like team in the Doctor,
Yes.
in Axel,
Yep.
in Muhammad, and in Sam, and those seem like the 4 pinnacles of this home base area.
Yes.
Like the ones that you can trust, and because I feel that way, I'm real scared.
Yeah, you
Like,
should
yeah.
be. No,
and I totally
seriously.
am. Yeah, and I was like, and like he called him Spartacus and everything. I was like, yes, exactly. You didn't do it. Of course, you're just a big-hearted fool. And
Yes.
I really do not. There was the moment where he was being led away, and I was like really holding on to my seat that it was not going to be like a Life is Beautiful. Spoilers. Sorry if you haven't seen that movie from 2000. Moment where it's just like, oh, he walked away, gunshot sound. Oh my god.
yeah, I was thinking that was going
Like-
to happen too. I'm like, please don't lead him outside and then just
And
shoot
what would
him
have
or
been
something.
really tragic about that,
That's
really
more
tragic,
like
and
Shawshank
Neil,
Redemption.
it would have been so Neil Labutian because it would have been, someone would have had to told Sam. Someone would have to tell Sam that it happened. He wouldn't have heard the gunshot.
Yeah.
Everyone would know and be in that
Except
cage
him.
together and have to tell him. Oh, and what drama.
Okay, well,
So in my version.
I think Muhammad's
Man,
gonna live.
I like your version.
no.
Muhammad's gonna
Just
live.
over.
He's too likable.
oh yeah,
for
no,
him
he's
to
totally
die.
going to
I
live.
know, and he's too young. I mean,
Yes.
That's true.
And he's resourceful though. I mean,
very.
Yes.
I feel even though he doesn't have any material with him out there, he's going to do okay. Well then, okay, wait, I got a
he
question
needs
for
to
you.
find Dylan.
Since you
Absolutely.
can't, I was gonna say of like, well, since you can't give us too many spoilers, if you were in the vampire apocalypse, which one of the home base people, besides your own character, would you want
Yeah.
to be your
Right hand.
your buddy? Yeah,
Yeah.
your right
Who would
hand.
you take as your companion?
Yeah, who would you take as your companion?
on this quest?
Ooh. That is a great question. You know, it depends on what my main goal would be.
This is true.
You know,
That's fair.
like, where am I trying to get out, and you know, am I trying to
Survive.
stay, and what's the master plan? So I think that would determine who I was going to go with. If I wanted like to fight, then I would probably choose Axel. You know, I would choose the Marine. If I wanted to put myself at risk, but keep going, and you know, maybe I would choose Doc. Like, just because she could, you know, help me out along the way.
doctor.
Like, he's a doctor.
True.
Yeah. If I was gonna like just hide away, which I wouldn't do, so forget that
Throw that one out.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're all pretty good choices for different reasons. You know?
I mean, if you bring John, you can
Yeah,
just like
I'd
let him
totally
be
bring
bait.
John.
Yeah.
I'd bring John because he makes me laugh.
That's true. He
David
does-
Cubitt, who plays John,
okay.
makes me laugh so hard.
Oh, he makes us laugh
Good
for
to
different
know.
reasons. He's hilariously mean.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, as a person,
Yeah.
and then like, I find John funny.
So John has great
cracks me up.
jokes.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay, good.
John cracks me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yes, so we see this divide between the newbies and our guys. Now I'm calling them our guys because they're our friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're eventually gonna get let out, hopefully.
Yes.
I feel like it's like Agatha Christie, like, and then there were
Murder
none.
mystery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
you slowly take one at a time, until you find the ultimate killer.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of going that route.
Do you think they're gonna find the killer through this route, or do you think it's
Yeah,
just gonna be a
because-
series of everyone being like, "I'm Spartacus. All right,
No,
there's none of us
No,
left."
because that
Because
can't
in-
happen again.
No, and you know, and then there were none. 10 Little Indians story. It's like whoever's talking the most is probably the one that did it. So who's
going
talking
blonde
the most?
lady.
Yeah, I'm going with the blonde lady.
We've mentioned how there are characters
you out, Blondie.
introduced and they don't say their
Theory
names
of
enough, so
deduction.
we're like,
Yeah, we need shorthand for some of the characters who have names
Beanie
that
Girl.
are less,
Beanie Girl.
are less
Yeah.
memorable.
Blonde.
blonde.
Beanie
Well, she's
Girl.
kind of the only
I love
blonde.
Beanie Girl.
Yeah, she is.
Beanie Girl.
Besides her friend.
I
Yeah.
was tragically ready to believe that Beanie Girl committed suicide because of that first episode where she has to murder her friend, and it's
I know.
it's so upsetting.
That
and you're like,
scene.
you are 12.
Oh my
you are
gosh.
a 12-year-old. You should be playing jacks or something.
know.
Please go home. Like,
That came out so good too.
oh, yeah.
It looked so good.
It was rough. It was rough to watch, which is
yeah.
exactly what you needed
Yeah,
to feel like.
it looked real.
Yeah.
And her face while she was getting hit, like
her the way she sounded when she was being hit was really what got me. It was just this like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I want to live. Don't you want me to live? We don't have the same wants. Oh no, I'm dying. All of that in a sound. That sounded much more comical than it should have, but it was
Maybe.
wonderful. Yeah, to me.
and I love the scene where they're all running out because they hear people coming in, and so she goes first, and and it's such a great shot where it's really close up on her eyes and
Yeah.
her face. She's like, they're coming, and then slowly she starts moving back, and she's like, I'm getting in the back, I'm getting away from
gonna-
everyone. I loved that moment. I
Yeah.
love that moment.
Yeah.
What's it like
She's great.
acting in it and now watching it?
Um,
Because there's all those layers added on after you're
Yes.
doing the experience.
There's so
and
many
now
layers.
watching the other.
and I don't go from shooting it to watching the finished
Right.
product. So, I see some stuff along the way, and then there's the rough cut with the effects not totally there, and then there's the cut with the effects there, but the sounds, temp, and so it's a process like that.
Bits
But
and pieces.
yeah, but it's always cool. With this one, it was I was really pleasantly surprised every time I saw, the look, especially. I thought it was really cool.
Being the lead, do you get any input of going? Can we like adjust this? Are you allowed to?
Yes.
How much creative
Nice.
freedom do you have with your character?
This team has been so wonderful that a lot.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's the collaboration, the spirit of collaboration on set is really amazing. So, really lucky.
It's a beautiful show. I mean, the cinematography on it. It is unfortunately really dark at moments. You're
Yes.
like, well, what is that?
Yeah, there's a thing in her face. I can't
Yes,
see her.
but visually it looks cool. Like the red lighting, the blue lighting, how they contrast with each other, and then there's a lot of the shots, the dolly slow panning is like visually it's stunning.
Yeah, we talked with Alex last week about how it's very comic booky in the way that it looks, and the cinematography is so deliberate, and it plays with lights and darks in the way that you don't see things. A lot of things are in silhouette, and it's because that's less important. You know who's talking. You just need to hear what's said.
Right.
And the way that the cinematography is so brooding and works so well for playing with the tone of how you're supposed to feel while you're watching it.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wrackingly, it does its job so well.
It's so great, right? And I give Michael Nankin, one of the executive producers who also directed the first block, which was the first 3 episodes, he really established the look. And then Brendan, our DP, you know, as well, did a beautiful job executing it. But it was really interesting to see when, you know, we're creating a whole world, we're creating the show. And that first director, who was Michael, you know, really got to, you know, set the stage, and he did a great job. I think the world of him. He'll be back.
Good. I can't wait.
And so will we. But really quickly, the last thing of this episode, we see the Rebecca and the elite vampire that she is. She's so cool. And taking out Sheena.
I bet she has so many of those bodysuits. Those like latex bodysuits she wears. I mean, it's like a closet full of them.
Oh yeah.
But it's sexy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
cool.
not arguing that. I just think that
She wears it well.
Yes, she does.
she's probably got a closet full. Maybe different colors for if she gets a manicure.
But we see Rebecca let Sheena go and says like, "Hey, I can be merciful."
It was very
Let it never say
So
that
like,
I am not merciful.
what do you think that'll do? Like, will Sheena go to the newbie group?
I think the bigger question is, do you really think that was mercy? Like, I don't.
Or because we see the line where we see the line where she says, "I can smell your scent." So if she lets Sheena go, that could literally track her back down to all these
Maybe
people.
she really knows her scent. Yeah.
So it's one of those, she's letting her go before a purpose.
Yeah. Is she
it was
being led
very
somewhere?
suspicious.
Like, I almost thought that she was going to say something to the effect of, as soon as the girl left, like, "Lead me to your little humans," or something. Like, it felt like that. It's so predatory and like.
I was going to say completely going the other way.
Oh.
There's still a little bit of human left in her.
Oh.
I had a
You think
moment
so?
where I go, I don't know. That was my other thought of, that was an interesting choice. Like, I
Live the
wonder
life I want.
if there's something. No, not quite that.
Not quite.
But she's intrigued enough to see what they do.
Like,
She's
they're
not
pets?
only,
What
you're
are-
a cat, you're playing with your toys. Not necessarily you're going to go chase them,
Okay.
but you want to see what happens next.
Okay. I was imagining they were the cat. Okay.
So do you think in the future episodes or in future moments, do you think she's as scary as they're making her out to be, or will she, in climactic moments, be like,
She's gonna
okay,
join the
she's
human
the
side.
one that changes and turns to people. She
gonna go with
becomes
that
the
one.
good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too.
That's a good
I'm
thought.
going to go that way.
I like it.
She's laughing. Poker face you do not have.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'd like to think that she'd be the one who's,
That'd be interesting.
who can actually be our ally.
Yeah.
She's up top.
Yeah.
Like, make friends with the people on top.
We do want
And she doesn't
allies.
like the other one. It doesn't seem like the
Doesn't
elite,
seem like
the
it.
higher ups like each other much at all. So
I mean, it's lonely at the top. You know what they say.
yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And like, there's a really weird, like, it seemed like a super creepy relationship between Dimitri and
Oh, and
his
his
Anna
sister?
something.
oh, that was
Anna,
weird.
Yeah. Where he's just sucking on her back, and she's like, "Yeah, brother, give me your hand." Oh,
Yeah.
this is so hot.
Yeah, sexy time
it's
so far on
not.
the show with the vampires is not sexy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question
Far
about
from
that.
Vampire sexuality.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yes.
when it comes to vampires, like, there's a large population of the fans out there
Yeah.
that love the vampires because of the romance, because of the sexuality, because of the, you know, they're just. I didn't know what you were gonna
Do
say.
it.
So
They're
that's
just
good.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're these
Yeah.
superior beings that are.
So good at-
Elite and
Like, you want to
yeah.
be one of them,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, and again, to go back, a lot of it is, you know, is a lot of this romance, you know, sexuality stuff. Are you
Seduction.
missing that? Because the show is very different in that way, and I was, you know, curious to those fans, like, if, you know, if those fans, like, if you guys are one of those fans and you're finding other things to hook into, or is it kind of, you're like, what, where's my,
I mean, the
you know?
sexuality's not gone. It's
No.
just different.
But there's no,
Yes.
like, there's no love triangles, there's no,
Right.
like,
Oh,
big
no, I
romance
don't-
We're not saying
stories.
that.
No, I don't.
See, the thing
There are
is
no
that
love triangles.
I don't see.
I don't know.
I don't.
with vampires.
No,
Well,
I
that-
don't
okay,
really
fine.
miss
Yeah.
it. No,
But
I
human
don't
love
really miss
triangles.
it because we
Oh,
see
well,
it so often in other television shows.
Okay.
And I think the good thing about this show is because I don't feel like it's needed.
Okay.
You know, it's like, and I don't miss it because I'm so engrossed in the violence. It sounds bad, but the violence
I love it.
and the action and
Great.
just like what's happening between the human characters and human dynamics. that like we don't really need the sex.
Great.
Well, this is a show too where the vampires aren't necessarily the heroes, because in other movies the vampires are kind of
Right.
heroes, so you admire them in Underworld.
Right.
And like, you know, even in its Interview with the Vampire, they're the cool ones that you want to be like them.
Yes. Right.
This show, they're so far all the bad guys.
Yes.
So, which some people do want to be like bad guys too.
Right.
That's a whole
Yeah.
other thing.
It's a whole other thing.
I don't miss it. I don't need the love triangle. That's stupid. And like, I don't need that.
That's been done a lot.
And I like vampires enough that I don't mind that they're not the cool ones like I'd want to be like, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's made it, the show has made it its own thing, so it's okay. It was just so interesting watching the super awkward sex scene.
Yeah.
And I was just, nothing about this is sexy. It's just super awkward.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Just really.
And really awkwardly grinding
just really,
too.
Yeah,
really,
and it
really
was
so
unmotivated.
slow.
Like,
Was it good? No, it wasn't.
No. And
like, oh, my pants are stuck a little bit on where I'm sitting. Let me kind of move, but not really move. Oh, they're not stuck.
didn't like it.
Cool. That's nice to hear, though, because I haven't had that conversation with anyone yet, so I was interested
I mean,
to...
and I feel like also these vampires are, like, we are still so in the
there's-
dark on what their motivations
Yes.
are.
Right.
Like, what exactly
you
they
are.
want and what exactly they need. And so I feel like there's no reason, like, we have that, like, matronly vampire that talks over Julius's shoulder.
Right.
Like, does she have, like, a sexual interest in him? Does she have, like, a motherly interest in him? What is her investment in Julius as a person?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so what are her, you know what I
Right.
mean? So I think that there's still room for them to be jealous and angry and,
Yep.
you know, petty and bitter, but not have it be like, because I love you. You know what I mean?
Right.
In that same overt Twilighty way that we've
Right.
gotten hit over the head with a
Right.
little bit.
Or they're
Vampire
so
Diaries. Yeah.
Or there's so few that the brother and sister, that's why they're kind of inbreed of like, it's pure with each other.
Gross.
That there's not enough vampires of pureness. And that's why their relationship is so incestuous, because they have no other option. That's at
keep
that
the bloodline
level.
pure. He
yes.
has such
I'm
deep
like, this
bags
is like
under his
bad
eyes.
royalty in the,
It's
you know,
from inbreeding.
way back when. Yes.
There we go.
And I agree with Marissa of like I like the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the show replaces it does love interest in another way, and that's not, who has time for love interest in
I
the
mean,
apocalypse?
at the end of the world,
And
the vampires should.
so yeah,
But anyway.
it replaces it.
They gotta repopulate the earth.
Like, all right, I got everything I want. Now what?
Yeah.
I guess love. Maybe not. Okay.
Maybe just a sec.
But like overall, I
less
enjoyed
messy.
the episode, as every episode is very enjoyable. But yeah, let's get to you. You know, so you worked on the show, obviously. But like, how long ago did you get involved in it? How did this get into your orbit? Van Helsing?
Yes. Okay, well, I guess, you know, it started probably a few months before I actually got the project, which was cool. You know, doing physical roles has become a big part of my career, so I'm always trying to stay ready for the next job. And I just felt something coming. I was like, I gotta start getting ready. And so I started changing my workout regimen and boxing more and doing a lot of just bodybuilding, like weightlifting, just trying to add muscle mass. And I was like, I think I need to get ready for like a really kick-ass role. It's coming. And then, so I loved that when it was handed to me, I was like, this is what I've been preparing for. So that felt really great, and I felt so ready for it. And my agent, gave me the script and said, I think this is right up your alley. You're gonna love it. I read it, and you know, the physical aspect of the part, you know, really hooked me. But also, I loved the journey that the character went on, and I loved that she was a mom. I have a 5-year-old daughter, so I just really connected to a lot of things in the script, and I was like, yes. And then Neil Abute and just everybody involved. So yeah, I auditioned for it, and I read for Neil and Michael Nankin, who's, you know, executive producer director, and we just talked. You know, Neil and I talked a lot about New York. We both, I was living there during September 11th, and was on a Broadway show right after that when he was doing The Shape of Things and off-Broadway. So we just talked about New York and theater and what it was like to be doing theater right after that time.
Oh my gosh.
And so we talked about that, and then we just really connected on that level, and then we just started working with the material, and it was just so relaxed. you know, which sometimes the rooms aren't. Sometimes it's like very stiff and like not conducive to creativity. And this was so great, which I, you know, gives them a lot of credit because they really created an atmosphere in the audition room, and it was on the set too, where it was like, let's talk about this, you know, let's try this, let's try that. And we just played, we just messed around, and it was great. And then I left, and a day later I got the call.
Wow, that's a nice
rad. That's
fast
super
turnaround.
quick.
That's awesome.
Right?
Oh, if only all roles.
I've had so many like
Fast
hoops.
turnaround.
I've been through
Yeah.
the ringer when you're just like, they keep you coming
Yeah.
more and more, and it's just like, oh, so it was really refreshing.
That's
It's like,
wonderful. They don't play games.
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. It was really great.
Now, you said you had already been doing some prepping in a way, not knowing you got the role. Once you got it, did you have a lot of any training that you had to do specifically, or any other additional?
Like weapons
Prep?
training or
Okay.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
No, I mean, it was,
She was already there.
I'm already trained in all weapons that man has invented. A couple that I invented too.
you know, no, I tried to do the same, and it was really like just a fast speeding train from saying yes to starting to shoot. It was like, here we go. So luckily I was able to take the 3 or 4 months prior, you know,
Apply.
because there was literally, it was so fast. We shot like an episode in 6 days, you know.
Wow.
I mean, it was
quick.
really, really quick. We worked long hours, and, you know, everybody really poured their heart and soul into it. And yeah, the training once we were shooting was more just like weights in my trailer, like right before it takes, you know.
Let's get this pump on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the fights while we're shooting was like, there's a lot of that on a daily
Tossing
basis.
Susan around.
There's so much, yeah.
Yeah.
Just lifting her over my head a couple times.
Yeah, she's at least 100 pounds. I'm gonna put somewhere around there. That's about as comfortable as I feel guessing.
What's been the most challenging thing about your character portraying her?
Oh gosh, you know, it's been so interesting to, you know, we're really creating this whole new world, and knowing what the rules are and keeping it consistent, and doing justice, like being able to really keep that, you know, consistency throughout the episodes. That was a challenge, you know, because there's so many moving parts, and we're creating all this folklore. So, you know, maintaining all of that and doing the story justice was something I really focused on and cared a lot about. The character side, you know, I wanted her to be. I didn't want to come off as this character that was just so strong and powerful that there was no threat to her, that you didn't worry about it. Like, she's just this monster fighting machine and she's just going to take them all out. I wanted there to be a journey.
So you're saying you didn't want to play her like a man would. Good, because the show is a lot richer for it.
That,
so thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, if it were Vin Diesel, he would have just been, I'm Van Helsing. You can't play me because I'm
interesting.
Van Helsing.
Yeah.
That's my Vin
think it
Diesel. It
would've
sounds
killed
like
it too.
Stallone, but it's Vin Diesel. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I just think that what you said is just very, like, and I hope you ladies embrace how wonderfully thoughtful you are by nature, because there's so much depth to how strong she is, but yet how fragile she lets herself be at certain times.
Yeah, I wanted the vulnerability to show. I wanted people to care about her, and I loved that the audience gets to go on this journey of self-discovery with her. It's not that they know it before she does, and so I really wanted to do that justice.
It really puts you on her side.
Yeah, I hoped so, and I wanted to have somewhere to go. I wanted to play the long game. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Well, it'd be too easy if she was like superhuman at the beginning of I can do anything and everything.
Right.
Though she does need to work on her shooting skills.
It's wasting that ammo, and she needs
And
to
the
hold on.
shotgun too.
hey, she
to
got
hold
it pretty quick.
For the end.
on.
Well, in fairness, she was
could've-
shooting with her left hand.
Right.
Are you
That's true,
right-handed?
she's true.
and like, you know, doing.
Well, the shotgun in the last
but
episode.
when you move that gun moves.
kicks.
You
Oh,
know.
I
yeah, yeah.
She's never shot in a
But
shotgun.
that shotgun
my
keeps the
criticism-
shells. She can do hand-to-hand combat. The shotgun is for emergency purposes. You have unlimited. You don't have unlimited ammo.
No,
Only-
but she's never done this before, right? Like there's
I
a
guess
certain amount
so.
of her that's like,
Yeah. You know what? Okay, then I will give you a pass because I was going to say you threw that knife immediately.
Yes.
Like stab,
Got
throw.
rid of the knife.
Come on, man. I guess it's just because you were excited you just learned how to throw a knife.
Yeah.
So I'll give you
I don't
that.
even know what you're talking about. What part?
During
In
the
the
fight
last
scene,
episode,
she
there's a
throws
you,
a knife.
You pull a knife. You
Yeah.
like, out of ammo with this shotgun. Knife, boot, stab, throw the knife. What?
And no
You
knife now.
You just got your new weapon. Don't throw it
In
yet.
episode 5?
Yeah, the
no, in episode I want to
The
say 3
one
or 4.
that we just watched.
Yeah, the last.
In
episode.
4 or 3?
Not the one we just watched for
the
tonight.
one right
the one
before?
before it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
The
was
one
right,
you get captured.
when I'm
When he's-
pulling him out
yeah,
of
you're
the
pulling
water.
Let's find a
No,
clip.
no, no.
Let's find a clip.
it's-
I'm gonna tweet this clip at you.
it's-
Okay.
I'm gonna find it.
It's when you're
'Cause I remember
rescuing
this. I was
the
obsessed.
other group
Hold on.
people. The other group
yes.
people.
Mm-hmm.
You have the shotgun. Do all the shots, and then put the shotgun down. Grab
Oh,
a knife
right.
out.
That
Do a
was last
stab,
episode.
and then throw. And you're like, but you've lost the weapon.
Right.
Yes.
And then you just started fighting him with your hands, which is, admittedly, rad.
Right.
But it's like,
Should
come
do
on,
that
man.
first.
You know, she's not perfect. What can
that
I
knife.
say? She's
Yeah.
not perfect.
But at
You
least
just learned how.
she's
You got
learning.
excited. It's okay.
I'll give you a pass if she keeps learning.
Yes. Yes. Next time, bring 2 knives.
I'm all, but like, what would you do in that situation when you're faced up against like 10 different
I just hope she goes to
vampires,
grab it
and you're the
after,
only
kind of a
girl,
thing.
and you're like,
I'm still really
Yeah.
trying to even remember
It's okay.
what you're talking
So
about.
we've probably
Oh
fought
no,
a lot of
this is not a
vampires.
she's
I don't
just a
remember, so
girl
it's all
scene
good.
either of like I'm just a girl. No, she could at least go pick it up after. That's like people who have archery in like a post-apocalyptic world, and at least they go pick up the arrow after because
Right.
it's
she
like
got mobbed.
That's true,
These
'cause
aren't
that's-
precious.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I did get
What do I
mobbed,
have, an
right? I
arrow
got mobbed and
factory?
muzzled.
a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know that they did.
I feel you.
Yeah. Totally.
My question is, what's your take on this whole non-conventional storytelling of having a woman Van Helsing instead of the traditional male Van Helsing taking out these vampires, and then plus you add the whole story of you can turn the vampires back. What's your take on the non-conventional storytelling?
I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
You know, I think it's great. I think it's
We're
great.
all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're doing something totally different, which is wonderful, and you know, it's really awesome to be, you know, female playing such a strong female character right now, and you know, one of the actors that's doing the genre flip, and that's really cool, and I love that that's being seen and that's being done, and I think the shows are doing well, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time. So
absolutely.
yeah, I think it was great, and
Agreed.
I love it. And like, I love stories that have really strong female protagonists because they give like hope in a way that a lot of people wouldn't see it. I mean, for not to sound terrible, but like we see so many movies and television shows where the males are the protagonists, and for some reason we're always conditioned like everything's gonna be okay. But like now having put a female in it, and like it gives people who didn't usually have that already conditioned hope, like hope out there.
Yeah.
Keep saying hope over
I love that it normalizes just like, oh yeah, no, that's just
Yeah.
a lady badass. We have those.
It gives you a reason to just like look forward.
Absolutely.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Little girls need to turn on the TV and be like, oh, I'm allowed to kill vampires too? Dope. And grow up thinking that.
I'm allowed to
that-
kick ass. Yeah.
That is true equality.
and then their parents can change the
And
channel.
then their parents can be like, why are you on Sci-Fi? I thought I blocked this.
I thought this was PBS.
It's not. I mean, yeah, it's violent, but it's not like
It's not sexual.
since it's yeah the sex. There's not much of it, but
Not enough of it? All right.
yeah, haha. But the violence is generally not on the humans as much, so it's not as bad, I would think, to show different kids because it's like it's a vampire being bloody, not really the human, so it's a little less.
It's the robot in
Graphic?
the cartoon thing. It's
Yeah.
like, you can totally dismember a creature as long as it's a robot. Who cares?
Yeah.
My question is, when will we find out Vanessa's lineage? Like
Ah,
how she got this ability?
Yes,
Is it in her blood?
and
Is
does
it
it
a family thing that's been passed on to
to
her?
Dylan?
Because
Does
does her
Dylan
daughter
have
have
the
it?
ability?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will we find out more about just the lineage of your character?
You will.
Good.
You
Okay,
will.
good. Okay, good.
Comes from a long line of vampires.
All right.
Maybe.
Because you know there are those
Eventually.
shows that like dangle stuff and then they're like, nope, I'm not gonna tell you anything. So I'm
Yeah.
glad to know they will.
Yes.
Maybe not right now,
Yes.
but they will.
Soon.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
Sweet.
soonish the way the pacing.
I mean,
I know.
soon is relative. Yes.
Because they're saying
It's a slow burn.
it's a slow burn.
It is a slow burn.
good burn, but it's definitely like we are ready. Like we got it. Let's go. Let's
like
go.
a healthy bird.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, congratulations on season 2.
Seriously.
The show got picked up for,
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
more to
Thanks,
happen.
guys.
Yes, we're
We'll be
definitely
here.
looking for it. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be covering it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, there are a lot of squeamish moments. It could be considered squeamish moments. Or were there any, like, moments when you're watching it as a person and you're like, oh, that's just nasty? You know, any moments that get to
Bloody
you?
bits and things.
Definitely stuff coming.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No, I'll just say that.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right,
I
guys.
can't get those images out of my
Emotionally
head right
prepare
now.
yourselves for every episode after this one.
Well, we thought the dude hanging up with entrails coming out was one of the most graphic
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so far.
Well, last episode we saw Julius just eating a heart like it was a fruit or
Just
something.
like it's a pear.
But
Yeah,
it was,
like,
you know, it was so dark that
Got this at the
whatever.
farmer's market.
That's
I think
not
it
that
was
bad.
also the added fact of the sound effects. It was all squishy.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
just nasty.
The Foley in this show is one. It adds so much to the gross factor. It's
The like
great.
little straw spigot
squelching,
with
like-
the like little
like
boy
horrible.
like
Yeah. Okay.
on his back. That got me.
You asked us about what we
Yeah,
think
that
of
was gross.
That was gross.
the lack of sex. What do you think of, or the style of that? What do you think of the
Romance.
vampire noises?
romance.
That style, because we've talked about that, like how they're the hissing,
Yeah.
the sound effects, and the.
Cat.
Yeah. I mean,
Tell us, what do you think?
you know, I like the reverb effect that is put on not the hissing
When they
necessarily.
talk, kind of.
Yeah, like
Yes.
there's an effect that
Demonic quality almost.
yeah,
to
which
make it
I like
very-
that because I've seen it before. I've seen it without that, and it really added a lot to it.
It adds this gravitas that they are like, oh, they are the gods of, you know, like,
Super
they,
scary.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We could be.
It just seems more
Powerless to them.
demonic.
Okay.
And like they're like that you know dimension. Yeah. So I liked that. That creeped me out. The hissing stuff, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's new to me because our storylines were so removed when we were shooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
so like I'm seeing a lot of stuff for the first time that you guys are seeing too. So a lot of the vampire storylines were, you know, that's all a mystery to me how that's turning out. So
To you, are they more cat hisses or snake hisses? Well, what are they more like?
snake.
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 All right, cool.
Yeah, because cat's more like, right?
That was a
Snake
great
is-
cat.
That was great.
That
Can you
Really
use a snake?
solid. If anyone needed some Foley for cats,
Okay. Maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah, somewhere in between. No, I think both.
cat snake?
Yeah.
It's a little both.
All right.
Snake cat.
If anyone starts a band called Cat Snake, you better credit us.
I think it's good that it sounds like a snake
Oh
because
yeah, no, that definitely happens.
Yeah.
snake has an evil connotation to it. So,
But
I
cats
mean,
are also connected with
black
vampires
cats.
of like how they carry them. The elite. If we're talking like the elite style vampires of like they have that posture.
cats were revered by the Egyptians.
Egyptians.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if we're gonna go back to the ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I know.
Vampire cats.
What is down there?
What's been your favorite dynamic of the show? Like, who do you enjoy watching the most, other than yourself, of course?
Chris Heyerdahl. I love watching Chris Heyerdahl. I just think he's great.
Yes.
Everybody's so good. I love watching Doc too.
Yeah.
He is just the actors are so great. And oh my goodness, like Vinny, like Vincent, who plays Flesh.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
like
he's
him.
great.
so
He's great.
deep and
It's super
thoughtful and
interesting.
beautiful.
You feel
I
for him.
know.
Yeah.
I like the first day where he starts talking about like whether or not he would really actually like to be alive and stuff. That's so powerful.
I know.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
well written, really well written.
Right.
He just has a
Like,
depth
moving
to
well
him that
written.
you're like, who you're interested.
I know.
There's truth
So-
to his like darkness.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, you just believe that he's been through some things.
Yep.
He does a great job.
Yeah.
Ah,
Everyone's pretty great.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
There's some
this is a good show.
strong actors.
Is for our last question, what has there been any like fun moments behind the scenes that happens between you guys? Because you seem like you have a lot.
I mean,
of fun
so
with the
many
actors,
probably
but
like not appropriate.
not appropriate.
What's
Can't
the
tell.
least appropriate
No,
one?
we just we have a really good time. We just have fun. There's a lot of goofing around. And the crossing over, like not just with the cast, like goofing around with the writers, goofing around with Neil. Like, I remember Neil came in once when we were all together, and started telling us that that he was writing a group shower scene.
Yes.
Sweet. When's that
And we
episode? No.
totally he got us all believing that was about to happen. And, and we were just all dying
like,
about that.
That's
We'll do it
hysterical.
if you're filming it also nude. That's how this is going to work out.
Save water, shower together.
We're pulling a
exactly.
Starship Troopers
Yeah.
on this one. We're going to have to be nude together.
Yeah.
Great. So,
But after we hung out a lot after we'd have dinner parties and we liked being around each other. So
That's rad.
Yeah,
And that-
which is rare. It's rare.
yeah.
And I'm so excited now knowing that too, to watch the show and look for that, because I feel like you can already tell that there is strong, strong chemistry between everyone.
Yeah.
And it's because you guys are friends.
Yeah,
Aww.
we like each other.
Yeah.
Any upcoming projects for you? Anything down the
Down the
pipeline?
pipe?
Yeah. For
Down
you?
the pipe.
Down the old pipe.
No, not right now. But I have a jewelry company that
All the
yeah.
Do tell.
that I'm so excited about. We launched it less than a year ago, and we give to charity. So
Aw.
it's like gifts for giving. It's jewelry that right now we're partnered with a charity called Hands for Others that provides clean water to places that don't have access. And we just funded our third village.
That's right.
With the sales, so a large portion, goes. Sorry, large portion
dare you.
goes to the charity, and so.
Where can we find
And the
your jewelry?
dream,
Yeah.
Benevolence LA,
I like that.
benevolencela.com or
right.
benevolence_LA for Instagram. And so we wouldn't be like Tom's, we want to be like a one-stop shop for giving. Like we want to eventually evolve past jewelry and do all kinds of things. And so it's like a big picture goal, dream company that I'm just really proud of and excited to see it doing so well.
That's
So I spend a lot of my time doing that.
Yeah, you're charitable.
That's great.
And you're even more awesome.
Charitable and
thanks.
Thank you
fashionable.
for so much for coming onto the show.
Yeah,
This
thank
is-
you.
Thanks for having me,
Of
guys.
course,
I
of
love
course.
hearing you
Yes.
talk about the show.
We'll
It
have
was
to
really
have you
We
Yeah.
love watching
Pleasure
you,
to talk
and we
in
love
vicinity
talking about
of
it.
you.
Yeah.
so
Obviously.
great.
Yes, but thank you everyone for tuning in. And in the meantime, where can everyone keep following you?
You guys can find me online at Kari Lane.
Hey, you can find me on the Twitter at Andrew Mena.
You can find me on Twitter at I am Kelly Overton, Instagram at Kelly A. Overton, and KO Kelly Overton for Snapchat.
Cool. And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting. You guys are awesome in the live chat every single week. We might have more people down. We'll see. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's been super
Thanks, guys.
fun.
Thanks.
We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Oh, yeah.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.